During this video, we're going to look at completing a Simpath assignment. Now, once again, before we begin, we're looking at our screen, our assignments, keeping in mind that for each chapter, there's always 3 assignments. So for instance, chapter 1, there's 3 assignments. One of the assignments is always a Simpath assignment. And the Simpath assignment is browser-based. There's always 2 projects involved in each chapter. And for the projects, we're working with a live Microsoft Excel file. So you're actually using Microsoft Excel to complete the assignment. So what I'm going to do now is, once again, we can look at our assignments by clicking here. They're all listed. Another way of looking at it is by coming over here to the left and clicking on Calendar. When we click on Calendar, let's look at September, we can scroll down, and looking at September 16th, if we hover over the assignment, we can see that there's 1 Simpath assignment and 2 projects. Underneath here, on the 23rd, there will be 1 Simpath assignment due and 2 projects. So I'm going to click here on the 16th. These are my 3 assignments that are due. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at our Simpath assignment. Left click, open up. Chapter 1 Excel, Simpath. When we look at the Simpath assignments, they're always made up of 3 parts. Part number 1 is the pre-test. So part number 1 is the pre-test. Part number 2 is called Take a Lesson. And part number 3 is called Take the Post-test. Now what the pre-test does is that it basically determines how familiar you are with the topics covered in that chapter. So for instance, if there's 20 topics that are covered and 20 questions, and if you answer all 20 questions correctly, you will not, and I repeat, you're not going to have to take the lesson or the post-test. Since you answered all 20 questions correctly, you will automatically get 100 for that assignment, for that Simpath assignment. So once again, the pre-test is trying to determine how familiar you are with the topics covered in that chapter. Now, fact of the matter is that most of us will not be able to answer all the questions in the pre-test. Most of us, if there's 20 questions, in many instances, we may be able to answer 10 of them, and we'll use that as an example. Answer 10 correctly. If we answer the 10 correctly, what will happen is that automatically Simpath will switch us over to the second part called Take a Lesson. In Take a Lesson, what will happen is that the 10 questions that you answered incorrectly will appear again. And Simpath will guide you in terms of taking or answering those questions correctly. It will show you what the correct answer is. After you have mastered those 10 questions that you got incorrectly, Simpath will then switch you into the post-test mode. And for the post-test mode, once again, you will only be concentrating, you will only have to answer those 10 questions that you got wrong when you took the original pre-test. So let's look at the pre-test. We're going to click on the button right here, Take the Pre-test. We're going to answer a few of those questions, not all of them. Load it up nearly. Click on Start the Exam. And once again, this is all browser based. So you can work on this assignment with any type of browser. So our first question is, enter the number 50 in cell C6. We're in cell C6. 50. Hit enter. Correct answer. Click on OK. You can see up here in the upper right hand corner it has my name, but also what's happening. We're on now question 2, and there's actually 51 total questions. For question 2, the question is, use a single command to clear everything in the content. How we would go about doing that is by clicking here for format. And all of a sudden I notice, no, I did something wrong. It's not a problem. Click OK. I did something wrong. The reason why I did that is just wanted to show you. We're still on question 2. And now I'm on my second attempt at question 2. Okay, so it's always keeping tabs of what's happening for each question. You basically have 5 attempts to answer each question. That said, we can go back on this second attempt and now answer it properly. Click here. Click on Clear All. Saving answer. It's correct. Click OK. Next question. We're on question number 3. Our first attempt. Center the content. And we center by clicking on this button here, Align and Center. Click OK. Question number 4. For 1 of 5 attempts, select column D. I'm going to click here. Click OK. And now we're on question number 5. Using our mouse, select cells B6 to H7. B6 to H7. Click here. Highlight it. Correct. Once again, look, we're moving at a pretty good clip. And we're just about kind of ready to stop here. So we're on right now question number 6 up to 51. Still very important. Another way of looking at the questions is by coming over here to the left. If I hover over it, it's telling me toggle the question list. Click here. And these are our various questions. We can see that we've answered 5 of the questions. Then how many attempts we still have left. So once again, I mean, that's very handy. Click on Cancel. We can actually load the question from there. So once again, an easy way of looking at what we've done and what we have left is by clicking over here, toggle the question list. Now for this particular assignment, there are a good number of questions. There's 51 questions. In all probability, you're not going to sit down and do all of them at once. You're probably going to take a break. And how you go about doing that is by coming up here to the right-hand side. It has our name. Click the X. And we have two possibilities. We can either save what we've done already so that we can return to it at a later point in time, or we can actually end the exam, saying that, you know, I've answered all the questions that I know how to answer. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on Save the Progress. Click here. We're going to save it so we can come back. Save the exam. We're going to click here. Okay. Now, I've taken my break and I come back. You can see that it's still live here. Take the pretest. So I can click here, take the pretest, once again, start the exam. We're going to restart it in this case, actually. This is important. Come up here, toggle my question list. I can see that I've already answered 5 questions. And let's say we scroll down here and said, well, I don't really know how to do any of the rest of these questions. I don't know how to do them. If that were the case, what we could do, if we did not know how to answer any of the remaining questions, what you can do is, once again, come up here where that X is, click here. Once again, instead of saving the exam, because I'm going to, in fact, end the exam. But once again, I just don't know how to answer any of the other questions. So I'm going to click on End the Exam. You get a dialog box that says End Your Exam. Click on End Your Exam. What you're going to notice here is that after clicking End Your Exam, the box now is activated for taking the lesson, Part 2. And basically what's happening here is that if we had approximately 51 questions beforehand, we answered 5 of those 51 correctly on the pretest. What we should have is approximately 45 or 46 questions that we did not know the answer for. I mean, those will be the questions that we will be asked on the lesson part of the Simpath assignment. After mastering those 45 to 46 questions, we will then be switched over to the post-test, where once again we will have to answer those 45 to 46 questions for the Simpath. Thank you.